Hello everyone, my name is and today we're going to be playing some Tropico 5. As some of you may or may not know, I have a bit of a history with this series. I actually did just recently finish a run-through of Tropico 4, which I will put a link to in the description below. And we're going to be pretty much doing the same thing again here on Tropico 5. Going to go through the campaign, going to have a look at the story and see where it goes. Only this time we're going to be following in the footsteps of Macho Man Gordon's family rather than the man himself. At least that's the lore I'm going with. This is the only real way to explain the sheer bizarreness of the Tropican multiverse this series seems to occupy, where the exact same events seem to occur over and over and chaos ensues. Only unfortunately this time there's a lot less chaos, as the game seems to have lost some of the aspects that made it unique. It's kind of a two-step forward in terms of gameplay, a giant leap backwards in terms of personality situation, which is best personified by the character creator, which we're about to have a look at. In either case, we're going to be doing a campaign, and we're going to be doing Changing the World. I do own all the DLCs, but we're not going to be looking at these in this series. We're going to probably create separate series for each one and come back and have a look at them later. We're going to create a new dynasty, which is the new form of character creator, and it's going to be the Gordon Dynasty, the Macho Man Gordon Dynasty. And as you're about to see, the character creator isn't all that impressive. In fact, if you've played Tropico 4, if you've watched my Tropico 4 series, even at a glance, you can tell this is quite shit. Tropico 4 didn't have the most powerful character creator by any stretch of the imagination. It did have limited customization options in terms of what you could do to your character. It wasn't a Skyrim by any stretch, but it had more than this. A lot more. And that's not even considering the political aspects. That's not even considering the fact that you could create a backstory for your character, that you could give him quirks, strengths, and weaknesses that affect the gameplay. And all of that contributed to the game's overall personality and comedic art form, which is also lacking in this game, ironically. But we're going to try to muscle through this regardless. We're going to try to create the ultimate dynasty, which is the system they've replaced it with. Their justification for replacing the whole El Presidente origin story thing is that you're kind of creating the origin yourself this time. You're kind of playing through the history. You're passing on your legacy generation by generation, which means you have more than one El Presidente in the game. You have like a whole family of them. The system doesn't really work that well, though. I will try to show you this in the actual game, but it doesn't really work that well, suffice it to say. In my opinion, the game would be much better if you were still able to customize your core Presidente, if you were still able to create the guy that you wanted, if you were still able to create the personality that you wanted, because that was one of the big things about Tropico 4. I mean, the symbol of the game, quite literally, one of the end-game goals, the final thing we did in Tropico 4, was build a golden statue, a literal golden statue of our character that towered over the city, staring down at the peasants below. And you can't do that in this game. You really can't. Hell, you can't even rename your character. You have to go through a whole list of pre-made names. Pre-made! Also, is the mirror just... As I said, Tropican Multiverse, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. I don't know if that's a glitch or an animation error, but I'm just going to go with this is the Tropican Multiverse at work here, and if you step through that mirror, you reach the Tropico 4 campaign editor, or character creator, which I'm mashing on right now to get back to, and unfortunately we can't. Oh, hey, you can turn the guy in the mirror too. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the fuck? What was that? No. No. We're not dealing with eldritch horror. We're not dealing with that kind of shit. We're getting out of this as quickly as possible. Alright, so I'm going to give my guy some quick traits. There's not really a lot to go through here. I'm just going to give myself Altruist. I'm going to be Felipe Gordon. Why not? Literally, this is pretty much the entire character creator. We do get to add some outfits and stuff. Not a lot of outfits, I'll be honest with you. Literally, that's it. That's all the outfits you can choose from. I'm going to go with, of course, the steampunk because, why not? Why not? We do start in a different time period in this game, or at least you do in the sandbox mode. You start off in the colonial era, which is kind of the start of the Industrial Revolution, so steampunk kind of fits, ironically. It kind of fucking fits. We're not going to be bald. We're going to have some here. Oh, is that the Spock? That is the Spock. We could go with the Spock, maybe. Let's just give my guy a swood mustache. I mean, I think that's the way to go, right? Here we go. It's perfect. We gotta give him a nice hat now. Is there like a Monopoly, Mr. Monopoly hat? I'm assuming there is. If there is, that's definitely the one we're fucking going with. Uncle Pedro. I mean, I guess that works. It's kind of like Uncle Sam. Maybe it's not exactly the Monopoly hat, but it's close. There we go. We found it. It only took a few minutes. Of course, we're gonna give him a monocle. We have to. As you can see, he's already kind of resembling Gordon, minus the lack of shirt, but nothing we can really do about that with the current character creator. We don't want dark pink coloring. That's just, no. We want to go with warm black. There we go. Now this is the true parent of Gordon right here. As you can see, certain aspects of himself can be seen reflected here, such as, well, the clothing and nothing else, because he looks nothing like him at all. And let's be honest, the clothing is all that really matters in these types of games. Alright, there we go. So he's created, and we're starting the campaign up. A steamship is approaching the island.
People who established dynasties so powerful that their names echo through the centuries? I'm one of them.
Apparently the same voice of Gordon is the voice of his father, so that was another trait that was passed down.
This island of mine could become anything. It could be a farmer's heaven.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably going to turn into a wasteland by the time we're done with it. I'm just saying, that's typically how these games turn out.
A production powerhouse with chimneys reaching the sky.
That's more like it. That's more like the vision I had. Hundreds of factories, urban sprawl, shacks and shanties everywhere. Oh, it's going to be fucking great.
A magnet for travel.
Oh, fuck Paradise on Earth bullshit. That can go away. That can go away. That ain't happening. You can't even do a Paradise on Earth until, like, you reach the modern era, so that's probably not going to happen, especially since I'm pretty sure we're starting the colonial, given the look of the ships.
Let's make it shine.
First off, that is not my character. That's not the guy I created right there. Apparently we actually get to set the difficulty? And we get to choose what map we play on. This is something new. Well, we'll just keep it at medium, I guess. And we're going to be playing on Cayo di Fortuna because, let's be honest, if you have the choice of landing between these two islands, between the lush green, tropical paradise and the literal sandbar, which one are you going to land on? Fucking, of course you're going to land on the freaking tropical paradise. I mean, we're going to make it a shithole, but you might as well land on it originally anyway.
Untamed land, my new home. Beautiful and full of promise. A new beginning.
Beautiful and soon to be completely destroyed by industry. Giant pillars of smoke pillowing into the sky.
I'm tired of musty weather and rigid thinking back home. I need a change. I was appointed governor of this island.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so we are starting the colonial age, which is good, because this is kind of the time period I wanted to show off originally. Because it's probably the most interesting time in the entire game. The colonial age is the only era where there is no electoral system. You don't get elected into power, you have to maintain it through mandate, which is a completely unique mechanic.
Allow me to introduce.
Ooh, it's Lord. This is Lord Oaksworth of the Empire. Good, good. So you're basically our arch nemesis. You're the guy that's going to be coming in, telling us, "Oh, lowly peasants, please send us all of your money," and we're going to have to say "fuck you" and then build an army and probably expel you from the island. All right, fine. Yeah, I understand your role. So yeah, here we are. I'm going to pause the game real quick to give a quick scout over the island. One major difference you might notice right off the back is that the entire island is covered in this strange fog. Oh, shit! I wish I noticed that. There's a fucking volcano on the island right next to Gordon's palace. Well, not even Gordon's palace. Fuck it. Listen, I don't know what my guy's called. I think it's Felipe something. It doesn't matter. I wasn't able to create a custom name for him, so we're just gonna call him Gordon's dad. That's his new title. It's gonna be this title throughout the game, because I'm not gonna remember this shit. I didn't create it. But yeah, the palace is right next to a volcano. That is not a good start. That is probably the worst start imaginable, actually. Also, we're at 26% happy. Whoa, yeah, we're not in a good way at all right now. We're not in a good way at all.